represented by Mr. Dan Cooper, Kayleen King, Carly Parsons over here on my left, and of course John O'Davis. So make them all feel welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's auctions will all take place according to the legislation. So in just a minute, I will read through the standard terms and conditions for auction of residential property in the ACT. I'm going to read them once. They're not going to be read for every property. We're going to take it as a given that you understand those terms and conditions, and they run across all of the properties. And we'll also deal with the front page and the front page only of each contract. And then it'll be your opportunity via competitive bidding to jump in and try and secure property in what I can sense is a quickly heating up market again, despite the cold. But before we do any of that, folks, what we're going to do is we're going to have an auction, a fun one, a charity auction. And it's to raise money for one of our favourite charities, which is cystic fibrosis research. And over time, LJ Hooker have been involved with this mob for at least 10 years. And in that period of time, we've raised in excess of $5 million. And I think that's worth a So this auction is dead simple, folks. You don't have to be registered for this one. This is just practice for me, warming up my voice. Practice for you, your up and down muscle, for want of a better term. You can bid in low increments. The goal is to help the children, of course. So the more we bid, the better it will be. The record, well, I'm not 100% sure. It was $212 for a fair while. I think it's gone up a bit since. The last few auctions we've had, it sold sadly for only $50 or $60, which kind of breaks my heart because it is for the children, as I said. And what's on offer, ladies and gentlemen, is this fabulous LJ Hooker wine cooler. They're not even making them anymore. These will be a collector's item fairly soon, and if you've got one, they will shoot up in value. I can almost guarantee it. Inside here, we've generally got a local Riesling or something of that ilk, and it's usually, thanks Cully, it's usually a decent one, and there's usually a decent local red or sometimes a West Australian red. I'm not going to show you what they are, but rest assured the value of the wine itself, or the wines, is around $60. And as I said, so hard to put a price on this LJ cooler. Folks, I'll take increments in $1 even, but it'd be nice if someone started me at, say, $10. So who wants to start me away? Let's not muck around for the children. Thank you, man, $10. Either a good drinker or someone who recognises value. We're away at 10, $50. Sir, I'm going to give you a clap. Thank you very much. Folks, if you're bidding later on, that's how you do it. You just raise by 40 grand every time. All right, we're at $50 over here. Is there 60 to keep us going? Won't muck around, won't hang and dwell. Is for the children. $50. First time. Come on, jump in. Don't be shy. $50 second time of calling. Sir, you might have it all your own way. I hope it goes that way with properties tonight.
$50.
It's exceptional value and it's tax deductible. Third and final. Thank you, ma'am. $60. Sir, you've got some competition set. 65. Thank you, sir. 65. We can do that. 66. It's going to be a tough night. We're at $66 down here with my second starter. So I'll take $1 if it helps you.
I'll go to 70.
You're a good man. We're at $70 now. Over here, madam, against you. Don't let a man beat you. 71, she says. $71 now. Sir, I'm not going to say the opposite. I'll get myself in all sorts of trouble. We're at $71 down here. What do you want to do? What do you say, sir?
No, we'll go
75. I like it. What do you want to do, ma'am? 76 or 80 might be a better one. He's tiring. 80. Lovely bidding. 80. She says 80, sir. But
oh, she can have
really? What a gentleman. All right, ma'am. I'm going to call it. If nobody else bids, these are yours, and one of our representatives is going to come and see you, and they will give you a tax-deductible receipt. Okay, so we're at $80 now. First time, $80. Second time of calling. $80 only. Third and final time. Any for the bid, any for the offer.
Hey.
Madam, $100. Where? Absolutely, great bid. What do you want to do? It is for the children. Are you sure? Okay. As long as you're sure, madam, I don't want you having any regrets. All right, for $100, thank you, madam. We're going to call it again. First time at $100, second time of calling, $100 only. Third and final time, sir, Have I got your best?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're selling, madam. Unless there's a further bidder offer, we're selling to you. And sold! Someone will come and see you. And we'll get you a receipt as well. Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks, Carly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, we're going to go through the standard terms and conditions. I'll do that pretty quickly. I think we've all heard them 100,000 times over the last few years. Number one, the auctioneer may make one bid for the seller of the property at any time during the auction. If you see myself or one of my colleagues making that bid, rest assured that we've been authorised to do so, and we'll make it clear it's our bid. Two, each person bidding must be entered on the bidder's record. Now that's an interesting one, folks. If you haven't registered and you intend to bid, you need to register. You'll need your driver's licence or some such identification. However, if you see any of the properties as representing value right up until when the hammer falls and you haven't registered, grab an LJ Hooker representative and jump in and register, because you can do that. It happened a few months ago at an auction I was calling, and the lady who registered late bought the property. Three, the auctioneer may refuse any bid. Will only do that if it's not in the best interest of the vendor client, ladies and gentlemen. Four, the auctioneer may decide the amount by which the bidding is to be advanced, but please remember, we are here to help, so we're going to be gentle with you. Number five, the auctioneer may withdraw the property from sale at any time, highly unlikely. Six, the auctioneer may refer a bid to the seller at any time before the end of the auction. That simply means we haven't reached their written reserve, folks, so we're asking them if they'll take perhaps a lower price. Seven, if there's a dispute about a bid, the auctioneer may resubmit the property for sale at the last undisputed bid or start the bidding again. Number eight, if there's a dispute about a bid, the auctioneer is the sole arbiter and the auctioneer's decision is final. Number nine, the sale is subject to a reserve price unless the auctioneer announces otherwise. Number 10, the highest recorded bidder will be the buyer, subject to any reserve price. Number 11, and this is really important, this is very close to my heart, ladies and gentlemen, part of the legislation. If a reserve price has been set for the property, and I can assure you it has for all of the properties here this evening, and the property is passed in below the reserve price, the seller must first negotiate with the highest bidder for the purchase of the property. So in layman's terms, if we don't get there to the seller's reserve, be the last person with your hand in the air and get first crack at it, and you never know what might happen. Might change your life forever. Number 12, the buyer must sign the contract and pay the deposit immediately after the fall of the hammer. Any questions arising from those standard terms? No, I didn't think so. All right. That takes us to our first property for this evening, ladies and gentlemen. So as I said, I'm going to deal with the front page of the contract. The contract describes the land as Block 11, Section 3 in the Division or District of Girralang, and known to you and me and the postman as 53 Baranchi Crescent. Had the great pleasure of meeting the seller and her family this evening. Lovely lady. She's ready to move on, and we wish her all the very best in her endeavours. Seller's solicitor is National Business Lawyers. Thanks to Kim Thompson for the contract. Stakeholder is LJ Hooker Kippax Trust Account, and the seller's agent is LJ Hooker Kippax, ably represented, magnificently represented by Mr. Jonathan Davis, who's over here on my left, which threw me, so I thought he was going to be over here on my right. But anyway.
Most people's left, Steve.
It's true that, Jono. If you've met Jono during the course of the marketing, you will have found him to be enthusiastic, hard-working, exuberant, and Jono will become, I don't have any doubt about it, an award-winning agent throughout Canberra. But in particular, the areas that he's working in Belconnen and West Belconnen, he's becoming a household name. Restrictions on transfer are nil. There's no land rent associated with this one. Property is offered with vacant possession. The breach of covenant or unit articles have been disclosed in these required documents. These have been available through Jono and Sarah and his office for the last 24 days, and here on display this evening for the last 37 minutes. The goods are described as fixed floor coverings, window trimmings, light fittings as inspected. But as Jono's going to tell us in just a minute, when you purchase this magnificent property, you will get a lot more than that very bland legal description. You're going to get a way of life. The goods are, the date for completion is within 30 days of the date hereof, named on the contract, but I know there are some registered parties who have made an outside and a different arrangement in terms of settlement with the seller, and that will of course be upheld. And also the contract calls for 10% of the fall of the hammer, 5% is becoming quite popular in this day and age, and so if you have made another arrangement there, that of course will be upheld as well. I don't think there's anything else I need to tell you about the contract, so John, take us to Girraland.
Thank you, Stephen. Well, assuming that based on the amount of people Sarah and I have had the pleasure of meeting at this place over the last 4 weeks, I assume this room is packed to the brim because you're all here for this one. I hope it doesn't empty out afterwards, at least not for my colleagues. No doubt you all have appreciated, guys, as you visited 53 Barachi Crescent, that the headline wasn't just me waxing lyrical and a bit of a real estate agent hyperbole. This really is a resort for the price tag of a house, a pool, a spa, $1 million views out the back off that deck. Now, if you want to bid to $1 million tonight, I'm going to be the last person to stop you, but I hear you might be able to get it for a fraction less. We'll see in a few moments, won't we? All of that house has been updated, that kitchen with gas cooking, got evaporative cooling ducted throughout. That games room has proven very popular as a separate place for the kids to keep all of their business as they're playing throughout the backyard. But in addition to how fantastic the home is, no doubt if you've been perusing the Belconnen market, you know how hard it is to get over 1,100 square metres of Girraland land. I say at every one of these auctions, Stephen, and it never gets old, buy land, they're not building it anymore, and this is a lot of land at a very, very good spot with tremendous views out the back. All the people we've met at this home have all got their own unique quirks and tastes that they want to put on the home to personalise it to their own tastes, just as our seller's done over the years that she's owned it and raised her family and kids have grown up here. So I'm assured by the amount of smiling faces looking back at me that are saying, shut up, Jono, we want to buy 53 Barachi, that I can hand it over to you guys and let you tell me who I'm popping the champagne with.
Yeah, lovely words, Jono, and what a great hero pick as well, ladies and gentlemen. That one has just jumped up off the internet and out of the pages of the paper over the last few weeks, so well done on the marketing, Jono. Well, ladies and gentlemen, enough from me, enough from Jono. We've said as much as we need to. Your turn to talk. Don't be shy. If you're here to buy, put your hand in the air, give me a smile, give me a wave, show me a card. Can't do it for you, can't do it without you. Wish I could. Who's to start us away? 750, sir. Bidder number 31, and welcome to the bid. Sir, they say that the first one's lucky, so we'll see how you go. 750,000 over here on my right. Is there 60 to keep us moving? 750,000. Want to move north from there. 750 is the offer, 750 is the call, 750 is the bid. Well, sir, you may have it all your own way, but I'm going to call it in. 750,000 first time. 750 second time of calling. At $750,000 third and final time. Is there any further bid, any further offer? I know there's some other registrations. What are we doing, guys? Don't be shy. $750,000. So I can't sell it to you at this point. It is a little below my written instruction. So I may need to seek a further instruction from Jono. But if you're holding back for any reason at all, please jump in. As I said before, we're here to help. How can we help? Help yourselves. We're at $750,000 over here on my right. Jono, I may need an instruction at this point.
One second, Steve.
No problem, Jono. Folks, whisper amongst yourselves, we won't be long. It's a full room. Maybe that's what's putting people off. The market's hotting up. Girraland's been absolutely fabulous. Red hot real estate. John, I will need an instruction at this point. Happy to make a bid on behalf of the vendor if needs be. Jono, we are live streaming this and there's some 150 people in the room, but you take your time.
It'll be worth it, Stephen, it'll be worth it.
Jono's just having a quick chat with our buyer at the moment and just explaining that we are below my written reserve price. trying to just get an increase here, which hopefully will happen. I know there are some other registrations. We did advertise this with a range of in excess of 745. I thought we'd have a Mexican wave at this level.
Stephen, just down here.
Thanks, mate. Just need to see your paddle. The girls need to see your paddle. Okay, folks, we've got a good faith riser at 800,000 with our initial and first bidder. Seeking a further instruction now. So we're at 800,000 over here. If you came for this property, and why wouldn't you? Now may be the time to speak. 800,000 is the offer. 800's the call. $800,000 is the bid. Going to need an instruction.
Not fit enough for this job, Stephen. Knees cracking and everything.
You're a young man, mate, and it's about 4 metres. Anyway, we shall see. 805, see your paddle again. 805, thank you for your good faith rise. What are we doing here? Yeah, okay, thank you. I can sell that man, we'll see your clear written instruction. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if there's no further bid or offer, property is now on the market for outright sale. It's going to be sold. Won't be coming back again for another 20 years, I would wager. So we're at 805,000. I'm going to call it for the first time. 805, second time of calling. $805,000, third and final time. Is there any further bid, any further offer? It's going. Sir, you sure? You sure? Okay. Sir, congratulations and welcome to Girralang. It's sold!
Follow me, guys. We'll go this way.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to submission number 2 for the evening. So once again, I will deal with the front page of the contract and just have a little bit of attention on behalf of the vendor and the agent. Contract describes the land as Unit 65, Unit Plan 4398, Block 13, Section 25, Divisional District of Griffith, and known as 65 at 115 Canberra Avenue in that great suburb. Unfortunately, the owners are interstate, so I was only able to talk to her over the phone. She seems a lovely lady and very keen to sell tonight. Seller solicitors Tetlow Legal, we thank them for their contract preparation. The seller's agent is my office, LJ Booker Dixon. We've been wonderfully represented by Mr. Ryan Henley over here on my right with the microphone in the correct position. Might I add. And Ryan's done a sterling job with the marketing once more. There's no land rent associated with this one. The property is offered with vacant possession. Is that correct, Ryan? Breach of covenant or unit articles again have been disclosed in these required documents, been available through Ryan and the office for the last 25 days and here on display this evening. The goods are described again as all fixed floor coverings, window trippings and light fittings as inspected. It's good that we don't get solicitors to write our ads, isn't it? Date for completion on or before 30 days from the date of this contract. And again, the contract calls for 10% of the fall of the hammer. If you have made another and different prior arrangement with the vendor or client via Ryan, that will be upheld. So Ryan, take us there.
Thank you, Stephen. Look, this one, in my opinion, is a positively gorgeous apartment. It's set on the top floor of the Indigo complex there. Hopefully we'll see some photos of it soon. But on that top floor, the first thing the owner said to me about the home was that she loved waking up to the sunrise, drinking a coffee and reading a book before going to work. So it's something we've tried to incorporate into the advertising there. Painstakingly 6:30 in the morning for a sunrise shoot. But it was well worth it because it was absolutely gorgeous. I typically when I'm selling apartments, it was a very bright day. Look, when I am selling apartments, I really like to take into account the amount of tenants that come through looking to buy and stay in the building, and this one had no shortage of that. People love the area and the buildings there.
Fantastic. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have had a small technical hitch, and I do apologise. Apologise on behalf of us to you and your vendor client, Ryan. I'm very sorry about that. Not intended. It can happen even in this modern day and age. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've kind of seen how it was done. I would prefer it to go faster and more people to play, but it's over to you. Looking for opening bid or call? Where do we go? Fabulous apartment, very realistic owner. I would have thought somewhere in the mid to high 400s would be a place to get us started, but you tell me. There's others in the complex that are on the market for in excess of 500 and fairly fresh to the market as well. For opening bid, opening call, or a start, who's to start me away? Come on, help me out, folks. There's lots of you here. All right, I'll go around the room one more time and we'll see if we can do anything. Looking for opening bid or call first time? Looking for a start second time in Griffith. Third and final time. All right, I'm going to hand that over to you and your conditional interest. I'm going to wish you all the very best with that sale. You're a consummate professional. You'll get that sold very quickly. Well done, mate. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us along to submission number 3 for the evening. Just looking for my agent. She can't be far away. She'll be here directly. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the contract once again describes the land as Unit 29 at Unit Plan 4077, Block 9, Section 33 in the Division or District of Reed and known as Unit 29 and 43 Constitution Avenue. What a great spot. The seller can't be here this evening either, unfortunately. Wish him all the best in his endeavours this evening. Seller solicitors WMG Legal, and thanks to Wayne Wharton himself for preparing the contract. Stakeholders LJ Hooker, Canberra City Trust Account, and they have been beautifully represented by a good friend and colleague of mine, Miss Kayleen King, who is missing in action. She was here a minute ago, I promise. Kayleen's a wonderful agent. She is an award-winning agent. She's been with us for a long, long time. And yes, she's real. Okay. Well, here you are now, thankfully. Unfortunately on the wrong side, but anyway. Restrictions on transfer are nil. There's no land rent associated with this one. The property again is offered in vacant possession. Breach of covenant and articles have been disclosed in this half a phone book here, and that's been available through Kayleen in the office for the last 23.5 days and here on display this evening. Goods are described as all fixed floor coverings, window trimmings, light fittings as inspected. And Kayleen's going to tell us a little bit more about the property in just a minute. Date for completion on or before 30 days from the date of this contract. Again, the contract calls for 10% at the fall of the hammer. If you have made a special request for a difference to either of those terms and conditions to the owners via Kayleen, that of course will be upheld. So Kayleen, take us there.
Thank you, Stephen. Jogging in high heels. I need to get back to the gym. Sorry about that, folks. This is the beautiful Jameson apartment building, built about 5 years ago. We're still having a technical glitch, sorry. But a gorgeous architecturally designed building, walking distance to Lake Burley Griffin, into the city, close enough to the footbridge that walking over to Commonwealth Avenue Park would only take you about 7 or 8 minutes. The building itself is 8 stories. As I said, gorgeous architectural sort of finishes, gorgeous corner window features. This particular one is a 2-bed, 1-bath that does sit on the corner. So that means, of course, that you get lots more windows, a gorgeous view. There are lovely views back out to Black Mountain. It has been renting in the low 600s. It's now vacant, it's ready to occupy, or certainly would make a great investment opportunity if you're looking to add to your portfolio. I'm so sorry you haven't been able to see some photos. Hopefully we can fix that, but thank you so much to my owner, and yeah, thanks.
Thanks, Kayleen. Well, once again, I can only apologise, folks. I've been involved with this company for nearly 24 years, and we've been doing these in-rooms auctions for that whole time, and we haven't had a glitch like this. So what I'm going to propose is that after I call this auction, we take a brief 5-minute break with everybody's patience, and we fix this up, because it's just not fair on the owners to not present their properties here this evening. So will that be okay with everyone? Can I have a small show of hands? Is that okay? We take a, yeah, okay, majority rule. Sorry folks, but let's get into this one.
Yeah,
All right.
sorry, thank you. I've already said my
You have,
piece.
yeah.
Thank you, Stephen.
So Kayleen, it's now over to the buyers. Looking for an opening bid or call. Who's to start us away? Once again, don't be shy. Huge full room. I know Kayleen's had good activity, good inspections, good internet inspections. Looking for an opening bid or call. Looking for a start.
Doesn't look like anybody wants to play, Stephen.
Very quiet spot. Kayleen, I'm going to go around the room once. Give everybody a chance. If you're being shy, folks, jump in, please. For an opening bid or call, first time. Looking for a start. In read. Second time. Anyone want to start us away? Third, final time.
There are lots of red panels over this side of the room, Steve.
I see a lot of paddles, mate, but no one's paddling.
No, that's
Yeah.
right.
All right, Kayleen,
Thank you,
I'm going to
sir.
hand that over to you and your conditional interest.
Yes,
Ladies and
thank you.
gentlemen, if you will bear with us, we'll try and get this done in 2 minutes. I'm really sorry. Please talk amongst yourselves. Thank you.
Daily about this property, so working tirelessly there. We're going to hear from Jack in a couple of moments. He's going to tell us a bit more about this property, but before we do, I'll just direct you to the contract of sale. Legally described as Block 5, Section 8 in the Division of Torrens, of course, known as 24 Jeffress Street. William Hague, barrister and solicitor, has supplied the contract in which we sell here to you this evening. Vacant possession, Jack. No, we're actually selling subject to tenancy, aren't we, with this one? And the date for completion, quite simply, on or before 30 days from the contract date. Now, I mentioned that date for completion. The tenancy agreement's actually almost expired, hasn't it? So 4th of September. So you're almost there. You can buy this one pretty much and move on in under the standard obviously requirements there with the current lease. Now, a deposit of somewhere between 5 and 10% will secure your purchase here this evening, folks. It's a very straightforward contract and it's a great property. But to hear a bit more about it, I'm going to pass it across to my friend and colleague over here, Jack Flynn.
Thank you, Dan. So as you did say, the tenancy is expiring on the 4th of September and the tenants have already found it their own place to move into. But they have been here for the better part of a decade, making this their home. And there's a really good reason for it. Torrens is an absolutely amazing suburb. I don't know if you've ever been there, guys, it is worth the drive. And speaking of a drive, this house is situated on a beautiful quiet loop, so the only cars you will see are your own or your deliveries coming in. Now the kitchen's been updated, it's set on a 694 square metre block and you've got 96 square metres of living. So very easy to manage, and that's why the tenants have loved it for so long. Unfortunately they've had to move on, but now there is an opportunity for someone out there to make this their future home. So ladies and gentlemen, 24 Jeffreys or Jeffress Street, depending on your accent, it is up for auction tonight and I urge you to show your interest tonight. Thank you, Dan.
Well said, Jack. Certainly a great property, prime Woden location here, folks, and we are selling, I have noticed many vacant blocks selling in excess of sort of 700,000 here. So for what we have on offer, obviously it's livable as is. You can land bank it, you can move in, you can renovate, extend, do whatever you like to do, but it's going to be one of those ones that's going to show exceptionally good value. So I'll call now for an opening bid. Who'd like to kick things off here this evening? 24 Jeffress Street in Torrens. Where do we start? Opening bidder offer, folks. Call it for me and I'll call it for you. If you are here now and you're thinking that's great value, please just hold up your paddle. Would have thought somewhere around maybe the high fives to kick things off here, well below market value, but we've got to start somewhere. So maybe 600 or 580 out there somewhere, folks. If you have a paddle in the hand, I'm going to be looking at you. In your hands, folks. Opening bid. I'll call 3 times then. If we don't have the auction tonight, we'll have the auction after the auction. We'll go behind closed doors and we'll be looking at private treaty. Matthew, is that someone reaching for their paddle there? I got a bit excited. Would I put a bid in there? No? I'm a bit trigger happy, be careful. First call then, second, third and final time, any interest? Well, I'm sure you'll see a sold ticket on the home very, very soon, on the sign, actually at the front of the home very, very soon. Please hang around, have a chat with myself, of course, Jack. We'll answer any queries that you have. It will come on at a very attractive price, folks, so I'm sure you'll see that one sold. So, folks, thanks for listening. That's it from me tonight, Kayleen. So I'll pass across to you, and good luck.
Thank you, everybody. I'm so glad you're a patient lot that have turned up, and thankfully our glitch is done with. So I'm very pleased to say that our next property up is in the lovely suburb of McGregor. So Jonathan Davis is somewhere that'd be great if he'd make his way to the front of the room. And so, folks, the property in McGregor is described as Unit 15, Unit Plan 3412, Block 3, Section 131 in the Division or District of McGregor, known commonly to you, Megan, Australia Post as 15 of 85 McFarlane Burnett Avenue in the suburb of McGregor. We thank our seller very much for clear instructions, and of course do always appreciate the opportunity to represent owners in the Canberra market. Legitimate Solutions have prepared the legal documents. The stakeholder will be the LG Backs Trust account, and of course the seller's agent, you've met him already tonight, Jonathan Davis to my left, representing our owners beautifully. Restriction on transfer is not possible. I'm expecting that it's nil. Vacant possession or subject to tenancy. Vacant possession. 30 days to settle, 10% deposit. If you have made other arrangements around the deposit or the settlement, rest assured they will be upheld for you this evening. Jonathan, let's find out a little bit more about the property.
Thank you, Kayleen. Look, this is a little cutie patootie, isn't it? 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom, a single garage under roof line in a nice smaller complex. Oh, Lord knows I don't mean that. Look, I'm willing to give it a go, if for nothing to appease Kayleen. This property, this townhouse is actually located at the very end, which means you've got no shared walls with that front courtyard, nor do you have a townhouse right in front of you, which actually means that courtyard remains soaked in natural northern light all day. You've got the cute little deck out the back, which is a really nice place to have a coffee or read a book in the morning. All the floating floorboards have just been replaced. It was repainted only about 12 months ago. And if you've been in the market looking for something cute and small, either for your first home or a nice positively geared investment, you'll appreciate that at the $350 plus guide price we've had on since day one is very compelling. More often than not, 2-bedroom townhouses in New McGregor are selling much closer to and even over that $400,000 mark. And that reflects the fact that the family is growing and we need a bit more space, and we're keen to move on tonight. They've spent all the money, they've done all the hard work. This could rent out very easily. Our property manager, George, already has tenants. His cup runneth over, who would love to move into a place like this, but I think it is just perfectly suited to a first-home buyer who wants something neat and tidy with low bleed corporate fees sub that 400 mark. So with that in mind, I'm going to hand it over to you and Kayleen. Get her attention, keep the bitter paddles high, and she'll help you out.
Fantastic, thanks Jonathan. What a gorgeous, neat, tidy property. Nothing to do, move in and enjoy, add it to your rental portfolio, absolutely perfect. So folks, you've all had a bit of practice. We had the wine and we've had a couple of auctions. So start me away. Somebody with an opening bid or offer, I would love to hear from you. Hold up your paddle, call out a figure. If it's fair and reasonable, I'll take it. Had a price guide of $350 plus, that'd be a great place to start, but if you'd rather start a little lower, I understand. I want you to be comfortable as long as we're moving north. So folks, I'm in your hands. I can't do it without you looking for an opening bid, surely something in the low 300s to get us away. Had a price guide clearly at $350 plus, but you tell me. You're so quiet. It's not the way we do it, folks. Need you to call out a figure. I know we've got registrations on the property. Gorgeous property, nothing to do. New McGregor, that area of town is growing and growing and growing. Great opportunity. If I can't get an opening bid, I'll hand it back to Jonathan to speak to anybody with conditional interest. Jonathan, how did you go there? Talk somebody around to opening the bid?
Look, well, I reckon I'm pretty charming, but we'll see.
Oh, well, let's see. Work your charm. Opening bid or call. Folks, I'll give you an opportunity to start me somewhere in the threes. First opportunity, $330, bidder number 5. Welcome to the bidding. Wish you luck. At $330,000, we've got a starter here to my left. Very shy, but thank you for starting. $330,000. I'd like 40 or 50. Let's move north. 40, ma'am, for you. 340. 340, bidder number 10. I'll come back to you for 350 if you like. That was our guide price at 350 plus. We're at 340 bids against you and against those other people that have registered and decided not to put their hand up yet. So bid is here at 340. Take 5 if you like. Would that be a more comfortable move? Yep. Hold that paddle up at 345 and 50's for you, ma'am. And 50, she says. Nice, easy decision at that level, I'm sure. At 350,000 bids here, would you like to go another 5? And another 5. And 55, she says 60 for you, ma'am, or 65 might be better. 360. And another 5 for you at 360,000. Bidder number 10's in the lead. In second place again, to be sure. At 360,000 here. What about 2.5? Can I keep you on for calling? At 360,000, there's no further bidder offer. I'm going to call it in your favour now. 360 is the call. First time. Second time at 360,000. We're sure, I think we've got a little bit of a committee meeting going on here. At 360,000. Third. Final call.
1 second.
Oh, 1 second. It's never 1 second, that's absolutely right. Never 1 second. We'll give you, it's a big decision, particularly if you're looking at buying your first home. I remember how scared I was buying my first home. So we'll just give them a second. So we're at 360,000, we're not quite where we need to be. Looking for an increase from there. At 360, I'll come back to you if you like for an increment, you're sure. At 360, I might need some instructions from our agent. Oh. At 360,000, gorgeous little starter property, great investment property. And of course, if you're a landlord in Canberra, anytime really, but certainly now, the market is still really tight. Landlords are doing incredibly well. Tenants are a little bit upset about our rental rates here. But if you wanted to start a portfolio, add to a portfolio, something like this is one of those really great set and forget properties that will just keep the money rolling in, low body corporate fees. At 360,000, I can see Jonathan doing some running around. If you've had a think and you'd like to jump back in, you'd be very welcome. 360 is the call, seeking some instructions. If anybody else is registered and would like to put their hand up, you would be most welcome. 360 is the call. Instructions from our agent momentarily, I'm sure. He works very hard for his owners. At 360, I'll take a 1 if you like. Would you consider coming back in for 1? I would have thought at that level it would be a pretty easy decision. And of course, if you're a first home buyer, no stamp duty, that's great news. Where is our agent? Jonathan, how are we going? He's running. That's a good sign.
I wish I was wearing one of those little, what is it that counts your steps?
Yes.
One of those, a pedometer, there you go, I wish I had a little pedometer. Thank goodness, Carly.
All right, we're just having a chat with our buyers. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves if you like. You don't have to sit there listening to me. We're just doing that little negotiation at the moment. And really, folks, that's what an option is. It's just a negotiation, but with that great outcome for both buyer and seller of an unconditional sale or purchase. So bids at 360, having a chat to our highest bidder. Jump in if you like, I'll take 1,000. The most important thing is to be in front. So at 360 is the bid. Jump in anybody else if you like, but feel free to talk amongst yourselves if you would like to. Jonathan's working very hard there. Folks, if you are buying and you'd like a hand, maybe you're here tonight just to see how the auction process works and you've been researching the market. All of our offices do put out great information about all of our properties that are for sale. So if you'd like a hand and you'd like a weekly email, please grab one of us. We do kind of stick out in our dark suits and white shirts. We'd love to be able to help you. Jonathan, how are we going? If we can't
Give me 2 seconds, Caitlin. I know you got a couple good jokes
got
in you.
a lot of options to go. We might hold that one over if we don't progress quickly. At 360, needing to be north of there. 30 more seconds and then we'll move on. At 360 is the call. 360 is the call.
Caitlin, 1 second.
to say no to. That's Is there, what was that bid? 365, we'll take that now. Jonathan, I'll ask you to move really quickly.
Really quickly,
Lots of options. And folks, just while we do have a little bit of time, you may see us this evening use a term called holding over. It's where we get to a place where things have slowed down, but there's still some activity. We just simply pause the auction, take that negotiating off the floor, continue negotiations between the buyer and the seller, and if there's success with an offer and acceptance, we reopen that auction, accept the bid, and of course sell the property. So if you hear that term used tonight, and I'm just about to use it on Jonathan, then it doesn't mean the auction's over or passed in. It just simply means we've parked it to the side, we're continuing on in private and moving on with our auction. So Jonathan, you seriously have about 20 seconds, or we will hold that property over. Just as well as an actor, keeping us enthralled. Okay, thank you. We are going to, if there's no further bid or offer, we'll give everybody one last opportunity, but we will hold that property over and continue speaking with you, ma'am, if there's no further bid or offer. First opportunity, second, third. Now we're going to just pause the auction, hold it over and keep talking with you, and hope we see you back out here to All right, folks, we are going to the ever vibrant suburb of Braddon. There are some seats down here, folks. If you want to come and take a seat, please feel free. Our property is described as Unit 49, Unit Plan 3089, Block 15, Section 7 in the Divisional District of Braddon. Again, known commonly to you and me as 14 of 62 Luana Street in Braddon. We thank our sellers very much for clear instructions. Tetlow Legal have prepared these great big pieces of artwork. The Dixon Trust account will hold the deposit, and the sellers have been beautifully represented by Ryan Headley from that Dixon office, and I'm sure if you've met him, you've found him to be really professional, just a great person and super keen to help. Restriction on transfer is nil. The property is offered vacant possession. All fixed floor coverings, window treatments, light fittings as inspected, 30 days to complete, 10% deposit. You've heard it before. If there are other arrangements, of course, we will uphold those for you. So Ryan, take us back to the property.
Thanks, Kayleen. So we're here in Braddon now, and this is an absolutely enormous apartment. The photos are working, so that's fantastic as well. It's about 95 square metres of living. It features a study nook. When you walk in through the front door, you do get put back. You do get a bit of a wow factor by that large living. It does have the Braddon lifestyle at its fingertips, but not only the Braddon lifestyle, it also is close to Ainslie, with the Ainslie Football Club, the Ainslie shops, and I think there's a couple of people in this room that can attest that they are some of the best shops in the ACT. So you have fantastic lifestyle on offer and a really fantastic value for money apartment here today.
Beautiful, thank you. So folks, it's a gorgeous apartment, obviously ready to go, and if you want to downsize or you're a first home buyer, what an opportunity to get into that buzz of the Braddon market. So folks, pick up my gavel. We'll move quickly. Opening bid or offer. Is there an opening bid or offer to start us away? Maybe something in the low 400s. Again, you're a shy lot. Brian, I know that you're dealing with some conditional interest. I'm not sure whether you've had anybody come and register, but I'll give you an opportunity, folks. First opportunity to get involved. Bid around 400. Second, third opportunity. Well, Ron, we'll hand that one back to you. Wish you all the very best of luck with that. I know you've had some great inspections. All right. Last one for me, folks. All right, we're moving to the gorgeous suburb of Canberra, one of my favourite suburbs in town. Again, there are some seats down here, folks, so feel free to come and take a seat. Folks, our property is described as Block 20, Section 4 in the division of district of Campbell. Again, known to me and the postman as 32 Blamey Crescent in Campbell. Badaham & Co. Ken has prepared our documents. The Dixon Trust account will hold the deposit, and of course the seller's agent, you've seen him up here already this evening, Stephen Bunday, director of our Eldrick Dixon office. Restriction on transfer is nil and the property is offered vacant possession. Fixed floor coverings, window treatments, light fittings, dishwasher, clothes dryer as inspected. Again, 30 days to complete, 10% deposit. If you have made alternative arrangements about those last two items, please rest assured they will be upheld for you this evening. Stephen, take us back to the beautiful suburb of Campbell.
Thanks very much, Kayleen. Well, firstly, I would like to thank the owner. I've known him for a number of years now. He's an awfully good bloke, and I'd like to wish him well, but thank him for the opportunity to represent him in the sale. Secondly, let's talk a bit about the property and surrounds. Of course, in Campbell here on Blamey Crescent, you're a very short walk down to the lake. You're close to the Campbell shops, which are absolutely fabulous. Of course, you're close to the new Campbell 5 precinct, which is just going ahead in leaps and bounds. You can walk into Bradden if you want, and you don't have to worry about parking or having that extra drink and driving home. And you're not too far from the city, so you're right in the middle of everything. I love these 3-bedroom, 2-storey double brick duplexes. I think they've got so much character and so much potential. The current owner has done some work, of course. Beautifully renovated the kitchen and the laundry and the bathroom. Double glazing for downstairs as well to keep the heat in and any potential noise out. So energy efficient as these can be, and really nothing to spend. However, the block's only 450, but you can see the backyard there through that back window. It's absolutely huge. The home was built at the front third, and of course it takes up a small footprint, being 2 stories. So there's loads of room to extend and have some fun and fulfil the further potential. So if you've registered tonight, there've been a couple of duplexes in Campbell going lately. One sold just the other night. So I wish you all the very best, and get in amongst it, have some fun, and don't hold back. Seems like we've got a very shy mob here tonight.
We do this evening, that's all right.
Thanks,
no
Kayla.
problem. All right, folks. Campbell, gorgeous suburb, as Stephen said, such close proximity to the lake, to Russell, to the city, and just a beautiful suburb, and lots of gorgeous people live in the suburb. It's such a lovely, friendly community. So folks, this is my last submission. Would love to bring the hammer down. So folks, where do we start looking for an opening bid or offer? Blamey Crescent in Campbell. Hold that paddle up, call out a figure. If it's fair and reasonable, I'll certainly take it, as long as we're moving north. Who'd like to start me away? Could I suggest something in the high 7s somewhere? I would think that that's probably well and truly bare bones entry level into the suburb. Happy to start under 800, folks. Can't do it without you. Is there an opening bid or offer? Starting with a 7 is fine, as long as we're moving north. We do have some registrations. I'm not quite sure why you're holding back. It's a property worth bidding for. Owners have already done some beautiful work, nice contemporary kitchen, and of course, I've sold many of these duplexes that are extended to the rear. They're so lovely to renovate, and lovely. Thank you. 740. It's low, but I'm going to take it. Thank you. At 740, we're off and running. Light 20s from there. At 740, we've made a start. That's the main thing. At 740,000. 20 from there, I would have thought would be a super easy decision. At 740,000, we're off and away. We'll find some, sorry girls, my fault. We'll find some competition for you, I hope. At $740,000. Okay, I'll take 10 if you like. If it gets somebody else involved, at 740,000, it's the bid. Looks like I might be calling it in your favour, sir and madam. At 740, first call.
45.
45, so could I say 50? I know I can say it, I'd like you to say it.
745.
745, and you were super quick with your paddle. I will take it if we could, other, number 14, welcome. At 7:45, I'd love 10 or 15 or more from there, but at 7:45, let's keep moving north nice and quickly. At 7:45's the call, first time, second time at 745,000 and 755, bidder number 47, 755, sir, for you. At 7:55, I thought these decisions would be super, super easy at this level. At 755,000, first call, second time of calling at 755,000. Sir, you haven't just come for one bid, I'm sure of that. At 755, would you like to go 760?
Yes, he would.
I'd like more, but I'll take 760 if it's a comfortable place for you to go. At 755,000, no. At 755, Stephen, I might just have a quick chat if that's all right. We're not quite there. Telling secrets. So folks, I'm sure you understand I can't sell it to you at that level. I'm going to have a bid for our owner at 775,000. It's below which they will not treat, above which you need to be to put yourself in the driver's seat, have that opportunity to talk to our owners. So both our bidders and anybody else that's registered and not had a go yet, 775 bids with me, 780 I'll take. What do you say? It's a big decision, but it's a beautiful suburb and a great, I would certainly consider this entry level into the suburb, absolutely without question.
And 80.
And 80. Bidder number 47 at 780. Have a chat to our owners and perhaps our other bidders will come back to you at 780,000. We're moving north, it's a little bit slow, but folks, if you want to jump in, I think most of the biddings kind of happened over this side. You guys need to have some fun, get the bidders paddle out, have a bid at $780,000. At 780, we're not quite where we need to be at 780. Give Stephen the opportunity just to talk to other registered bidders, have a chat to our owners. At 780 is the call. The Lantern Rooms, the gorgeous restaurant in Canberra. So if you are the lucky buyer, make sure you book in. Have a celebration dinner at the Lantern Rooms. It's absolutely gorgeous. At 780 is the call. If you've got a paddle and you haven't used it yet, this would be great for you. At 780, I'm sure you understand we're not quite where we need to be. As I said, this is bare bones entry level in the suburb.
Okay, we're going to hold that one over.
Thank you. Or at 780, I will give you an opportunity to be the highest bidder if you're still here and you haven't done anything. Otherwise, we'll hold the property over and continue speaking with you. First, second, third opportunity to get involved. Folks, we'll hold the property over. Remember, I said that just means we're pressing pause, continuing the negotiations so that we can get on with our last submissions. And so, Steve, we wish you all the very best of luck with that one. I'm handing over to Jonathan Davis. So, folks, thank you. That's it from me. Jonathan Davis.
That's my name, Cameron. Yes. My goodness. Well, hello everybody. Now it's my pleasure to come out to the floor and help some two owners auction their properties. The first one I'm going to take you to is Unit 3 in the Unit Plan 2110, Block 13, Section 184 in the District Division of Ngunnawal. Quite a mouthful, isn't it? But it's much easier to describe it as Unit 3 of 25 Marginate Close in Ngunnawal. We thank our seller for their instructions. The seller's solicitor will be Bradley Allen Love Lawyers. Stakeholder is the LG Hooker Gungahlin Trust Account, and the seller's agent is the affable, truly delightful Lisa Van Nico from that office. There'll be no restriction on transfer, no land rent lease is available. The property is offered for sale with vacant possession, meaning you can expect those fixed floor coverings, light fittings and window treatments as inspected to be available in 30 days from today, which no doubt with your help and spirited competitive bidding will be the day of exchange, settlement to take place in 30 days from today. Now, Lisa, Would you like to take us back to normal? Would you like me to?
That'd be good together.
We can do it together, why not? We can just go through the PowerPoint. Now Lisa, I wanted to ask, it looks like the owner has spent a fair bit of money, either that or they are immaculately clean. That looks new.
$20,000 to be exact.
Right.
New floors, freshly painted throughout, updated bathrooms, updated kitchen, LED lights, and new blinds.
Right, and not to be mistaken for other townhouses in the area, this has not one, not two, not three, but 4 bedrooms, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct, and spacious bedrooms at that, with 2 separate living spaces and a dining space as well.
And like too many townhouses where you can only fit 1 car, this is 2 car, right?
Correct.
I just want to be absolutely
Garage
clear.
with storage underneath the stairs and ducted vacuum, ducted gas heating.
Everything you could need and want, perfectly tidy for either the investor to set and forget, move some tenants in and rent out. But I think a home this special where everything has been thought of and diligently prepared insists on a house-proud homeowner. Friends, I'm going to put it out to you. Where would you like to start? Advertised guide price at $569,000 plus, which based on comparable sales, no doubt you'll agree is value indeed. We are looking for a bit above there. Heck, I'm happy to start lower for those who want a bargain in the room. You'll often hear me say 5s if you see value, 6s if you want it wrapped up quickly, and 4s if you're cheap. Right, where would you like to start, ladies and gentlemen? I'm in your hands. I know we have registered parties on this property. I know Lisa's working with a number of people who unfortunately finance just could not come through in time lest they be here. That's why you don't go directly to the bank, that's why you get a broker. Of course I'd say that. Friends, I'm going to call it in now 3 times. First time now. Second time, calling for an opening bid or offer. Third and final time now, at 3 of 25 Margaret in Ngunnawal. Well, I tell you what, there are a lot of people here disappointed they don't get to hear me say selling, selling, sold. There are 2 families here delighted because their finance has not come through in time, and that means they can start to negotiate conditionally, allow their sale to be subject to finance with Lisa. If you see value in this home anywhere above $569,000, you'll want to make sure you make yourself known to Lisa. Clearly vacant and ready to go, I have no doubt she'd be happy to take you there first thing in the morning. And I say that because I can't see her and she can't say no, right? So Lisa, I'm going to wish you the best of luck in continued negotiations. No doubt you'll have that one away in just a couple of days. Thank you very much. Where's our next one? Where am I chopping up to now? Lawson, a beautiful part of the world. Far too often when you are looking at buying brand new property do we send you out to the outer suburbs, but not in Lawson, right in the town centre. This will be Unit 4, Unit Plan 4380, Block 2, Section 22, District Division of Lawson, known commonly though as Unit 4 of 5, Never Tire Street. Because you'll never tire of living there, right, Tim and Owen?
That's correct.
That's right. That pun writes itself, doesn't it? We thank our sellers for their instructions. The seller's solicitor is Maxwell Co. Barrister and Solicitors. The stakeholder is the LJ Hooker Kaleen Trust Account. And as these sellers are selling property in Lawson, they've got tremendously good taste, and they appointed Tim Russell, Owen, Ryan Hicks and his team at LJ Hooker and Dixon to conduct the sale. There'll be no restriction on transfer, no land rent lease is available. The property is subject to tenancy, good for those investors in the room who want to save their letting fees and just start making money from day one. The goods to be included are those fixed floor coverings, light fittings and window treatments. And with your help exchanging tonight, we're going to settle a bit sooner in 28 days, because why wouldn't we want to get in just a fraction sooner than everyone else tonight, right? Tim, Owen, I'll hand it over to you.
Thank you, Jono. And it is a beautiful townhouse. Lawson is certainly one of those suburbs that has been held its own and been one of those places that people really want to get into. A lot of the time, because of its location, so central in the Belconnen location, and you can actually walk from this apartment straight down to UC, or a very easy access to get into the city from here as well. This particular townhouse is larger than most as a 2-beddy. It is nearly 135 square metres in total, which is just quite a good size for a place like this. And it's got some unique things about it. One of those is downstairs is a double lock-up garage, not car parking in an open car park, which most complexes have. This has secure garaging on the ground floor with internal access, which is just fabulous. And one of the really great things about this home is not only is in the main living area there are bathroom facilities, but upstairs for each of the bedrooms, they each have their own ensuite bathroom. So it's set up just beautifully for really good use of the space. Great way of having livability in the place for people that are having to do shift work. There's a couple of great tenants in there at the moment who are just really looking after the place. They're paying $520 a week at the moment, which is quite incredible rent on return when you think about that from a return point of view. And for the size of the place, it faces onto Wonderlight Street, not Nevertire. So Nevertire looks out to Baldwin Drive, which borders between Lawson and Kaleen. But this faces onto the back onto Wonderlight. So very, very quiet location as far as the outlook of the property goes, and in such great shape, such a large property, and in a wonderful location. It's pretty hard to beat, Jono.
I would think so, Tim, and no doubt with an advertised guide price from day one of 500 plus, presenting tremendous value, I'd have thought of that price. No doubt you're not going to break my heart and make me hand over 2 properties tonight, so I'm going to call it open for you now. Who'd like to start me away? Opening bidder and offer. Where do you see value? 4 or 5 Nevertire in Lawson. Friends, I'm in your hands. Where would you like us to go? Been pretty clear and discreet about where you need to be. Do a quick search of Lawson right now on all homes. You'll see it's one of the most affordable homes in the suburb, considering its utility and amenity. Well, friends, out an opening bid. I'm going to call it in now. First time. Second time now. Any declared interest for the third and final time. You're here, you're organised, you've seen the brokers, you've got cash in the bank. Do not compete with conditional buyers tomorrow. I think I'll have to compete with conditional buyers tomorrow.
They may have to, Jono.
So I'm going to let you go and have a chat with people whose bank has not wrangled them into place to be here with this lovely crowd.
Right? I'm sure, sir, very quickly, and thank you.
Thank you very much, Tim. Thank you so much, Tim. Look, as you can see, 500 plus great value. Don't leave tonight without speaking to Tim and Owen if you've got any interest in that property. Otherwise, I'm going to hand over to the always delightful Carly Clough, because if you look at me for too long, you need a beautiful lady to come out and really cleanse the palate. So I'm going to hand over to Carly for our last few submissions. Thank you very much.
I will take that, thank you very much, and I will pay you later.
Sounds good.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. We are getting very close to the end, and I know that you're probably all starving. So we will do this as quickly as we can, but you've seen it how it happens. So like I said before, well, I haven't said before, like our fellow auctioneers have said before, you hand up in the air, I'll take the bids, and let's get this job done. We are going to be heading out to Grace today. It's in Gungahlin, if you're not aware, and we're going to be selling Block 6, Section 43 in the Division District of Grace. The address on the mailbox and then the sign is 8 Benalla Street in Grace. A great street there for sure. Now, we want to thank the solicitors for preparing the contract. That's been available to all of the potential buyers throughout the campaign, and of course here this evening as well. LJ Hooker, Gungahlin Trust Accountant, stakeholder, and the seller's agent, Shan Yao. Good friend, great agent, has done a fantastic job with this particular one as well, and the owners will attest to that. Now, the restriction on transfer is nil. It is a non-land rent lease. It will be sold subject to tenancy, and all the inclusions, it's all fixed. Oh gosh, you probably already know what the inclusions are based on how many options have been up tonight, but all fixed floor coverings, window treatments and light fittings as inspected. Date for completion is on or before 30 days. And of course the deposit, we call for a 10% deposit on the contract. However, if there has been some special conditions made, which I think there might be from a couple of people, then that will be honoured here as well. So Shan, Benalla Street in Grace, great property, great street, but tell us a little bit more about it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, take you to number 8 Benalla Street in Grace. It's a very sought after suburb in the Gungahlin district. Hope you can hear me. Is that better? Is on? Right? Okay. Yeah, it's a beautiful house. It was built in 2011, and the block is 450 square meters, and we've got 181 square meters living plus a double garage. As you can see, the kitchen is the center hub of the house. Beautiful 40 mil bench tops and gas cooking. This is a master bedroom. Front is ensuite and walking room, and also it's just very spacious, 2 separate living areas, and all the bedrooms actually separate, so you can have your own privacy there. And the key feature is the second master bedroom that is ensuite. So of course, Grace is a beautiful suburb, and you have the local shops, super barn, district bar, and restaurant, and just got so much to offer with that very special community.
Yes.
Thanks, Chloe.
Oh, that's all right. Look, we're excited to get going, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm just going to put it in your hands. Give me an opening bid or offer on this particular property here in Grace. Out at Gungahlin, it's a growing area, as we know, so what do you say? Opening bid?
800.
800, and thank you very much, sir. We've got a bid here, we've got that number, a bit of number for you. No, we're offering away. That's how it gets done. It was nice and quick. So from here, I'm looking for some competition for you, sir, but if I don't, I'm going to give you a vendor bid. But at $800,000 here in Grace, what do you say, ladies and gentlemen? Put your hand up. I'm sure
you would like it all your own way at this point, sir, but I am going to try and find you competition, as I said. But if not, I'm going to have a bid on behalf of the owner at 8.45. It's the vendor bid, of course. That is something you will need to be above, so I'll keep you in for 10 if you like. The 8.55, sir? So at $845,000 is the call. That's where it's at, ladies and gentlemen. I'm calling and chasing for $855 if we can. Shan's having a bit of a chat to them, going to shake some money out if that is possible. But at $845,000 the bid is with me, making it very clear here, ladies and gentlemen. Against all other parties, and of course it's not just up to one person to bid, there's plenty of people still left in the room, so I assume that there might be some people sitting on their hands at this stage. And if that is the case, now would be the time, because I'm going to call it at 8.45, Shan. So an increase from there at 8.55 is, I would suggest, at $845,000. Alright, so we're not going to keep you here for much longer, ladies and gentlemen. At 8.45 the bid is with me. I will try and tempt you back in even for 5 if you like, to round it up to an even 8.50. Can I do that? Puts you in front, eliminates all other competition at this point in time, but at 8.50, what do you say? We're having a lot of fun, you haven't spent any money yet. So at 8.50, I can hold it over in your favour if you like, at 8.50. Yeah, 8.50, thank you, good favour. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go around at 8.50. If I don't get any further bids, we're going to hold the property over. You're going to negotiate directly with the owner. First call at 8.50, second call at 8.50, third and final call at 8.50. Best of luck to you in negotiating a sale. If you reach that lucky figure, come back. I'm happy to bring a hammer down. Good luck, Shane, good job. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we do not have to go very far because we're just going up the road to Franklin. Now, ladies and gentlemen, once again, we are selling the property. Block 2, Section 33 in the Division District of Franklin. It's at Unit 62 in Unit Plan 4312. It's known as 62 of 235 Flemington Road. Now, same details, ladies and gentlemen. We obviously have a contract that's been available to you. LJ Hooker Gungarlan is the trust accountant, Nash Thorman, long-term agent in that office. I've had the pleasure of working with him for a very long time, and I know he's been very good to work with from a both buyer and a seller perspective. And there's a tenant in this property, and I think he likes you as well, but you're hard not to like. The restriction on transfer is nil. It is a non-land rent lease. It'll be sold. It says here with vacant possession, is that correct, Nash? Right? No, so it will be subject to tenancy. I'll just confirm that now. If you've got any issues with that, please direct your questions to Nash during the auction. The goods are included a fixed wall coverage. I'm really having trouble with that tonight, I'm sorry. Light fittings and window treatments as inspected. Now, 30 days for the completion of when we get the keys, and of course 10% deposit is called for. Over to you, Nash. Take us back to this wonderful property.
And I'd just like to pay tribute and thank the vendors for trusting LJ Hooker with the sale of this property. It's been a great marketing campaign. I've really enjoyed meeting the people I've met. And as Carly just mentioned, the tenant also has been excellent to work with. And so I publicly thank that person as well. The photograph that you can see at the moment really tells the story of this apartment. The tram is there, and I was very grateful to the photographer for getting the picture of the tram and the building in the background. And then I realised that he didn't have to wait very long, because every 10 minutes these trams run up and down Flemington Road. So it's a fantastic location, and you can also see the block in the back. We're on the 3rd level there, and actually the apartment is on the side street side, which reduces the noise significantly. So it's a great apartment. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom in a fantastic location. Woolworths and other shops just directly across the road. So it's a fantastic opportunity, and I wish those people who are registered to bid all the best. And thank again the vendors for trusting us with their instructions to sell this property. Thank you, Carly. We're in your hands.
Well, thank you very much. In fact, I'm in your hands. So what do you say, ladies and gentlemen? Give me an opening bid or offer on this one.
295.
295. Thank you very much for your bid. Number 46, and we're off and away. Thank you for that little clap too, Nate. That's fantastic. And best of luck to you. Now, at $295, it's exceptional value, but I'm going to have a bid against you if that's okay. If I don't have any other bids here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I'll have a bid on the owner's behalf of $330,000. So at $330,000, still great value in an area which is still growing, and of course the light rail is a massive bonus. But at $330,000, the bid is with me, making it very clear once again that anyone here that has not maybe thought about an investment property, this could be it. Currently, I think it's rented at, and Nation can correct me if I'm wrong, but a property that may sell here, well actually will definitely sell in the 300s here tonight, unless I get a lot of competition, is currently rented for $450 per week. So if you haven't thought about an investment property, but you now want to because you've just heard that, then make sure you talk with Nate, because we'd love you to be interested in this property too. But at $330, the bid is with me. What do you say?
331.
I've got a good faith rise to 331. Thank you so much, sir. Best of luck. So, as I was saying, ladies and gentlemen, investment is great, but if it's owner occupied as well, tenant doesn't have a car because everything is close. But at 331, I'm just going to get some instructions from Nation just now, sir. Sorry. All right. At 331, same deal applies here. We're going to hold the property over for you. Wish you all the very best of luck. Go and do some further negotiating with Nate, and we hope to see you back out on the floor rather quickly here this evening before we finish. Good luck. Good luck, Nate. Okay, the one you've all been looking for. All right, let's go this one.
Are all these people for me?
Let's see.
Let's reach that point at the perfectly.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of Gungahlin, but we're heading to New McGregor. 40 Clyde Finlay Street in McGregor is the property that we're going to be selling here this evening. Block 26, section 140 in the Division District of McGregor, 40 Clyde Finlay Street, and of course we thank the sellers and the seller's solicitor for preparing the contract. Stakeholder is the LJ Hooker Kipax Trust account, and of course the seller's agent is no stranger to this evening, Mr. Jonathan Davis. And the restriction on transfer is nil. It is a non-land rent lease, and it will be sold in vacant possession. The goods included, once again, are all fixed floor coverings, got it that time, light fittings, window treatments as inspected, 30-day settlement, 10% deposit, you know the drill. Any other conditions are going to be upheld here. Jonathan, take us back.
Thank you, Carly. Well, I pride myself on having sold more property in New McGregor than any other agent over the past 3 years, and no doubt you all agree with me. When you see good property, you come and inspect it, which is why 123 unique groups have inspected this home in only 3.5 weeks, which I think is really testament to the amount of attention to detail that the sellers have put into presenting the home. Not staged furniture, not rented furniture. This is actually the exceptional taste of my seller client. You can see that every open home has been presented perfectly, but all those little bits and pieces of where money has been spent has made it absolutely perfect. Not just the standard gas wall heater that comes with these properties, reverse cycle as well. Not the standard carpet that comes with these properties, floating timber floors as well. There's a real cat. Not included in the sale, I should stress, or I'll have someone very, very upset with me. But a really, really awesome use of the space. Yes, this area does usually put you on smaller parcels of land, but at just shy of 530 square metres, you'll appreciate every square inch has been used perfectly. Not only do you have a huge outdoor rear deck that's soaked in natural light, on the left-hand side of the block you've got raised veggie patches ready. You've also got a nice established grass area, but your block does extend right up to the brick wall of this neighbouring property, which means for the great nomads in the room, those who want a 2-car family or an extension, you've got space to stretch out there on the block. Takes advantage of the corner block with nice thick hedging at the front, which keeps you screened from the street. And one of those homes where I'm sure you're going to fall in love with it, I'm sure you're going to bid, but I can make you one assurance: you won't have to spend any more money after you've paid your mortgage payment, because everything has been taken care of here. You just have one monthly payment, you get to sit back and relax and live in what I think is the nicest 311 I've looked through in New McGregor, and I've been through most of them, so no doubt that's why you all hung around to the end, right?
There is clearly no more to say.
Is that a hint, Carly?
Yeah, no, I love it, it's great. It lets me just do my job, which means I need to get an offer from you guys to start me away. So what do you say, ladies and gentlemen? Give me an offer here for McGregor. Great property. I see the paddles are still here, so start me away. Where do you want to go, ladies and gentlemen? Like, I wasn't expecting that. I thought, oh, yep. 450. 450, thank you, and welcome to the bidding. Best of luck to to you. So 450,000, we are off. That's 450,000 here on my right hand side. Where can we go from there? I'd say 20 if you like. At 450,000, best of luck to you. At this stage, I'm going to call it in your favour because we all want to get home and have some dinner, but I'm sure you want a property. So first call at 450. 460 I'll take. 460 back at you, 470 if you like. At 470 I have on the knob. What do you say, sir? 480. 480, 490 if you like. 490, 500, round me up. 495, doors wide open, sir. At 495, we've got a bid here at 500. Welcome to the bidding. 500,000. 505. Sneaking it down, but at 510, I'll take a bid. Or man in front, 510 if you like. New interest. 510 I have. 510 against all other parties. At 510. 515. What do you say? Sir, haven't forgotten about you either. At 515,000, that's where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a lot of interest in this property, but I'm going to call it in your favour. With our starter at 515, first time. Second time. And welcome to the bidding. At 520,000 against you, sir. 525 will come back to you. So, or sir, you didn't come for one bid, I'm sure. If you did, it needs to be a bit bigger. At 550, sorry, we're at 520? 520 here. At 520 against all other parties. 525? 525 I have over here, took it here first, sorry, sir. 530. 530? 530 I have. At 530,000. 535? I'll give you a moment to think, sir. What do you think, just behind you? At 530,000, in your favour, you've given the paddle away. Do I take that as you're done? Because you're in front, so I'll call it to you. First time at 530.
535.
535. 540. Sorry, just grab your number again if you don't mind. 540 with bid number 35. At 540,000, I'm going to check some instructions here. At $540,000, what do you say? 545? 540. You've got the paddle back, sir. Give me another 5. Might be the winning one. At 540, it's against all other parties. First time at 540. Second time at $540,000.
541.
I've got the bid over here first, sir. It is a 1. I will do the same courtesy if you like and take 542. Bid 542, 543. In the interest of keeping the auction going, I'll take the 1, ladies and gentlemen, but it's 545 good bid. At $545,000. Clearly you can see that there's great interest in this property by the amount of people that are here, so it's confirming its worth, ladies and gentlemen. But I can tell you right now, you're in the hot seat at 545. I'm going to call it in your favour. First time. Second time at 545,000. What do you say? All done. Are you sure, sir? Sorry, I am talking to people behind. I know you're in front. You're done. You're done. 5 foot. Jonathan's telling me to wait a second, and we all know what that means. At 545,000. 546. I knew you weren't out, sir. At 546,000. I'll take a 1 if you like. 547. 547,000. Jonathan, I'll just grab you for a second if you don't mind.
Fine, that'd be delighted.
At 547, I'm 47, correct? Bid with you? Sorry, 47, correct, sorry. You're 46, we've bid against you 47, sir. I do apologise, but that's the aim of the game is to go up. So I have forced that out of this lovely lady. But at 547.
549.
549, you're back. Our starter's back. Will he be there at the end? 549, doors wide open for 550. 550 I have. At 550,000, nice round number. 550. Here we go. At first time at 550,000. Second time, 5.5. Third and final time. Are you sure, sir? You told me no before. Sir, our starter, 550,000. I do note that obviously this can be quite painful for underbidders or bidders with the highest bid, but we are trying to do the best by the seller here. But at 550, Jono, I'm going to need to make sure that these people are happy to let this property go because I'm about to sell it to this couple at 550. First time, no hanging and dwelling. Second time, 550, ladies and gentlemen. Third and final time at 550. All done. So. Thank you so
so if you want to stay put just for another minute, that would be great.
And if you don't want to stay, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to thank you all for coming and being part of the object. I heard you talking about
I know. It's all over with now, Lisa. It's all yours.
It's not all theirs, it's her mum's.
Oh, right.
I had to say to Jonathan just there, he said it's all yours now. I said, it's not all hers, it's all her mum's.
Alright, folks, if we just get a little bit quiet in the room, that'd be amazing. We thought they were going to keep going. So much. It's my absolute pleasure to reintroduce 32 Blaming President Campbell back out to the floor, and winner number 31.
Yeah, but they got sold afterwards.
So we'll just confirm our bid. 32 Blaming President. Sorry, folks, we'll be there in a second.
Still in the bank.
That's right, it's in a different part. Well, they're close. The one's on the facing the tower. That's right. That's right.
Shall we do another one first, Stephen? We've got another one to bring out.
Sure, let's do that.
Sorry guys. Sorry, we're good to go at 820,000 on 32 Blaming Present. Just turn that around the other way. So, bidder number 31, thank you to our sellers. We're good to go at 820. All right, folks. First call at 820,000. Great buying, in my opinion. Terrific suburb. Second, third and final call. Sold.
Can you all hear me? Good news is we've got another one to bring out, which is fantastic. So the one in Franklin, which is 62 of 235, Flemington Road in Franklin. So thank you for the gavel. I'm going to need that, which is very exciting. So what I'm going to do is ask our bidders to place their bid once again. What's the bid, sir?
345.
345. I'm going to get confirmation that we are selling on that from our seller. Is that correct? That's you. Selling? Yep, okay. All right, we're good to go, ladies and gentlemen. First time, second time, third and final time, and it is sold. That's great. And remember, you don't need the car, so if you need extra cash, just sell it through.
Just go over that same.
Done well, mate.
Yeah, well done. No, just wait there. I'll get them to sign first. I'll get them to sign first, and I'll get you to come in and sign it. Okay,
Yeah,
one second.
He's got a few more to go. That's all
Good agent. He's great.
right. I stir him up a bit.
Well, thank you everybody for hanging around. Good news is we've got one more. So it would have been lovely to do this all when everyone was here and we had a crowd, but you know what?
I'm ready to clap, Carly.
Okay, good. The important people are here, and that is the buyers and the sellers. They're actually on the phone here. But I'll just, once again, we'll head back to 8 Vanilla Street in Grace. Can I confirm your bid, sir? Yes. Oh, good. I'm glad you remembered.
Yes.
I could have said maybe 878. That would have been great with the owner. But 858, we have agreements from the seller. I've just spoken to him on the phone. So congratulations to you. But first time, second time, third and final time, and we are sold. And it's going to be a new home. But congratulations to everybody that bought and sold here this evening, the ones that are left. Thank you for hanging around. We welcome you back to any other LJ Hooker auction, whether it be on-site or in rooms, but have a great night, drive home safely, and go get some food.
Welcome back, Carl.
Everybody.